الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وأسوتنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. So excited, guys. MashaAllah. Rainy Wednesday, right? Alhamdulillah. How's everyone doing? Alhamdulillah. So I know some of you I've met before. Anyone here not a convert? Are you a convert? You're not a convert. Okay, it's okay. You can stay. It's okay. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Any children of converts? Are you a child of a convert? Yeah, okay, alhamdulillah. Child of a convert? Alhamdulillah. Okay, just checking. Okay. So tonight's topic related to the holidays, inshallah, will be beneficial. Definitely if we have like questions and specific like examples like, oh, my family does this, what should I do? We can definitely talk about it, because this is one of those things that's very family specific, very tradition specific. There are kind of some general things that we can talk about, but in some cases it is literally like, no, that advice will be completely disastrous in your family situation, right? So it might be that we need to actually get into like real examples. So obviously, I know a few of you came from a non-Christian background. No problem, alhamdulillah. But in the context of this conversation, we're really talking about, like the Christmas holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, as well as other things that maybe our families celebrated culturally in our lives until now. And those things could be religious to some degree. They could be secularized. For some people, Christmas is a secular holiday. For some people, it's a very religious holiday. It is very, very significant religiously for many, many people. Most of you know I happen to be employed in Plano Masjid, the real Plano Masjid, West Plano, alhamdulillah, ICC. And next to our masjid, like just up the block, there's a lot of churches on that street, but one of the churches has a huge nativity scene, and they actually had like actors and actresses up there the other night, and they had like the people from the congregation were like going and like watching them perform, like mimic this nativity scene at the manger and everything. So for some Christians, for example, Christmas is very, very religious. It's as significant as Easter is, for example. Others, it's a very secularized holiday. It's about family presence, bonding and all that. So we'll get into that, inshallah. But that's kind of in the context of the overall conversation. We'll be kind of specific to those particular holidays in the American context. So don't, like I said, maybe that in the advice won't work for other traditions, other faith traditions, and other family situations. So just keep that in mind, inshallah. So there's really maybe two main things that we want to look at in the overall, like maybe what can we take away from this session. One is particularly when we talk about families and holidays, for most of us, we're talking about our parents. We could be wrong, but I could be wrong, and that's not always exactly the case. But for most of us, we're really talking about our relationship with our parents and maybe even grandparents and aunts and uncles, and how we, wanting to, not pour gasoline on the fire that already exists with us changing our religion, right? So that's one, like how do we, like, what is Islam telling us about this particular point, how we deal with our parents even though they're not Muslims, and in some cases they might be very actively trying to get us to leave Islam. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's passive aggressive, sometimes it's very direct, sometimes no, alhamdulillah, they're accepting, but they still are not really aware that we might be uncomfortable doing certain things as Muslims now, like celebrating these holidays, right? So that's the first thing. And the other thing related to that is really defining what would be worship for us and what would be inappropriate for us from a theological perspective, from a religious perspective, and then what might be culture and what might be just having dinner with your family, and that we can accept. Like, how do we navigate between what is religiously inappropriate? So, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, so There are two verses in the Quran, in Surah Al-Ankabut, chapter 29, and Surah Luqman, chapter 31. And those actually might be flipped. I'm sorry, I might have mixed that up. Chapter 29 and chapter 31 that deal with parents who are non-Muslims, who are particularly trying to get you to change your religion, to return to whatever religion you were on before. I guess the good thing from our perspective as converts is that this reality that we're going through in some cases, again, sometimes it's very subtle, sometimes it's passive aggressive, sometimes it's very very aggressive. That was the reality of most of the companions, or many of the companions. Most of them were converts. There were companions who were younger, who were born into Islam, so to speak, after the message was given to the Prophet ﷺ, like the children